Hey Hollow Dwellers, welcome back to Jester's Hollow. Tonight, we are stepping into a house that redraws itself every night, rewires your brain every run, and quickly asks the question you never expected from a puzzle game. Are you exploring it or is it exploring you? Blueprints is a first-person run-based puzzle mystery about inheriting a 45-room mansion with a rumor a 46-room hidden somewhere beyond the walls. On the surface, it sounds like something out of a cozy weekend detective novel. In practice, it feels more like someone locked you into an immaculate conspiracy board and said, if you understand this place, you keep it. If you don't, the house keeps you. So, tonight's question is simple. Blueprints, Dreamhouse Legend or Infinite Letdown? Let's open the door. Blueprints begins with a wheel, a single condition, and a house that refuses to stay still. You play as Simon, a man who inherits his great-uncle's estate, Mount Holly. But there is a catch. To claim it, you must first find room 46, a secret chamber beyond the mansion's 45 known rooms. The problem is that Mount Holly behaves less like a building and more like a living creature. It resets its layers every day. Your items vanish, your progress dissolves. Only your knowledge carries over. From very first step, the game tells you exactly what it is. It is not some power fantasy or a hero's journey. This is you taking an exam written by your dead relative, and the house is grading you silently from the walls. Mechanically, Blueprints is almost disarmingly simple. Each day starts in the entrance hall. You have a limited number of steps before the day ends. Every time you open a door into unexplored space, the game presents you with a choice. 3 blueprint-style tile rooms. Pick one and it physically falls into the growing mansion. You are literally building a house as you explore it, trying to stitch a path from entrance hall to a distant antechamber, your doorway to mythical room 46. But there is a twist. When your steps run out, the day ends, the mansion dissolves, everything resets, and the blueprint looks at you in the eye and says, try again, but be smarter. There is no levels, no XP bars, no ability trees. Your power curve is made out of notebook scribbles, half-drawn floor plans, and the realization that weird symbol you ignored 10 runs ago was actually the key to everything. Within a few runs, Blueprints turns you into something you didn't sign up for. A part-time architect, detective, and historian. Players start mapping by hand, drawing grids, tracking doors, sketching room rotations, doing architectural forensics on a house that refuses to stay still. Some rooms reward you instantly, extra steps, useful items, new doors, others feels like rule experiments, giving you cryptic clues that don't make sense until the 10th hour. The game has the soul of a tabletop dungeon crawler. You're building a haunted mansion, tile by tile, except this one remembers what you're learning. And that is where Blueprints becomes addictive. Dozens of rooms initially look like decoration, flavor pieces, like little curiosities. But on the run 5 or on the run 9 or on the run 20, you suddenly realize, oh, that room changes how the steps are counted. That symbol appears only near rare rooms. That piece of text explains the rule I didn't know existed. Blueprints is a massive Rube Goldberg machine. One where pieces make sense only when your brain finally catches up. The game isn't unfair, it's uncompromising. Every rule was visible, you just weren't ready to read it. Visually, Blueprints doesn't rely on jump scares. There are no monsters, no ghosts, no gore, and yet the house feels deeply uncanny. The art is clean and elegant, almost sterile. Muted colors, crisp lines, a mansion that feels like a memory instead of a place. The soundtrack is soft and eerie, never loud, but always watching. The scariest thing about Mount Holly is how lived in it feels, and how completely empty it is. You find traces of life, letters, records, cars in architecture, but never people who left them behind. You are squatting in someone else's obsession, walking through the echo of a family that built their legacy on something you can sense but not see. This is not a spot that glowing thing puzzle game. Blueprints expects you to pay attention. It throws logical puzzles, spatial problems, riddles, and pattern recognition that challenges you the span of multiple rooms or multiple runs. You didn't got stuck because puzzle was unfair. You got stuck because you treated the mansion like a separate curiosity instead of one coherent machine. Some players sink dozens of hours and still feel like there are mechanics that they only beginning to understand. That can feel intoxicating or exhausting. Underneath the puzzles, blueprints hide a surprisingly heavy story about legacy, exploitation, rewriting history, and who gets to decide what past means. Mount Holy isn't just a weird rich guy's passion project. It's built on scars, mining operations, a ruined castle, a stolen crown which swapped gemstones, a family rewriting their own narrative as if editing the document no one else allowed to see. Simon's challenge isn't just to solve the house. It is to understand the type of person who would build this house. And deeper you go, the more uncomfortable the questions become. Because the mansion isn't testing your intelligence, it's testing your mindset, your willingness to think like the people who shape the place, people you may not admire. This is where blueprints becomes dangerous, and in a fascinating way. The repetition, the resets, the note-taking, it all mirrors the psychology of roguelike and obsession loops. One more run, one more room, one more detail I might have missed. Before long, mapping Mount Holly feels like a mapping your own brain, your own compulsions. Permanent upgrades make you feel powerful. Fountains that change, fixtures that stays alert, doors that remains unlocked between rooms. But no matter how much progress you think you have made, the house can always reset around you, give you that vicious and whispers. But do you actually understand me? From some players, blueprints crosses the line from challenging to punishingly opaque. If you don't enjoy note-taking, repetition, or feeling of slow decoding of this world, this game can feel a bit brutal. There's no mid-run steps coming. If you misplace a room or waste too many steps, you can't rewind. You must live with the consequences and push forward to learn something later. For players who want clear structure, pacing, closure, blueprints can feel like a house designed to deny you all of three. It's a game that rewards obsession and punishes casual curiosity. So let's answer the question. Is Blueprints a Dreamhouse legend? If legend means a place you cannot stop thinking about, a puzzle box that lives inside your head long after you stop playing, then yes, absolutely. The game is dense, demanding, influencing, and brilliant. Even your failure feels like a part of larger blueprint you have slowly been learning to read. And the letdown? That only appears if you expect the mansion to behave like a theme park, a place built to entertain you on schedule. Blueprints is not entertainment, it's labyrinth handed to you with a note that says, if you want this, prove it. And the price isn't skill, isn't patience, curiosity, the willingness to let fictional house live rent-free in your mind. For the Hollow, that makes Blueprints less of a disappointment and more of an invitation. And an invitation to get lost, to map the unmappable, to decide whether endlessly shifting Dreamhouse is worth the cost of discovering its 46th room. If this dive into Blueprints as ever-changing mansion resonate with you, let the Hollow know. Did it feel like a legendary Dreamhouse puzzle box, or did you bounce off of its infinite reset loops? Drop your Mount Holly Wars stories in the comment. Tell me which of the labyrinthian games deserves a trip under Jester's microscope next. Until next time, Hollow Dwellers, keep your notes close, keep your blueprints closer, and remember, some houses are easier to enter than escape.